The gate was taller than any building she'd ever seen, made of stone so white it almost glowed in the moonlight, and carved into every inch of it were stars, not random decorations, maps, constellations she recognized from Earth's sky, but also others she'd never seen. And she knew, standing there in that ancient moment, that this gate was a doorway to something humanity had forgotten. Feel the cold mountain air on your skin, thin, pure, each breath sharp in your lungs because you're high up, closer to the sky than most people ever climb. The ground beneath your feet is smooth stone, worn by thousands of years of footsteps. All around you, silence. Not empty silence, full silence, the kind that holds something sacred. And above you, stars. So many stars, brighter than you've ever seen them, because there's no city lights here, no pollution, just you and the mountain and the endless sky. And ahead, the temple, rising from the peak like it was carved from the mountain itself, stone walls glowing silver in the starlight, and that gate, that massive gate covered in star patterns, waiting, like it's been waiting for you specifically, like it knew you'd come. Her name is Rachel. She's 39, lives in Colorado, works as an astronomer, spends her nights at observatories, tracking stars, measuring distances, calculating the movements of celestial bodies. But for the past 2 years, she's been dreaming about a place that shouldn't exist, a temple on a mountain, made of white stone, covered in star maps. And she's not just visiting this place in dreams. She's working there, living there, like it's her home, her real home, more real than her apartment in Colorado, more real than her life as Rachel. The dreams are consistent, always the same temple, always the same mountain, always the same feeling of purpose and belonging. She's wearing white robes, her hair is longer than it is now, and she's studying the stars, but not with telescopes or computers, with her eyes, with her consciousness, with methods that don't exist in modern science. In the dreams, she can read the stars like books, can understand their language, can see patterns that reveal past, present, and future, can track not just physical movements but energetic ones, can sense what the ancients called cosmic influences, the way celestial bodies affect consciousness, affect energy, affect the earth itself. She's tried to dismiss the dreams, told herself they're just her subconscious processing her work, her mind playing with astronomical concepts during sleep, but they feel too real, too detailed, too consistent. And then 6 months ago, something happened that made her question everything. She was at work, analyzing data from a distant star system, and suddenly, she knew something, not from the data, just knew that this particular star had a planet, that the planet had water, that it was in the habitable zone, that it could support life. She wrote it in her notes, flagged it for further study, and 3 months later, another team confirmed it, found the planet exactly where Rachel said it would be, with exactly the characteristics she described. Her colleagues were impressed, asked how she knew. Rachel couldn't explain. She just knew, like she'd seen it before, like she remembered it. That's when other things started surfacing. Knowledge she shouldn't have, about ancient astronomy, about how different civilizations tracked stars, about methods of observation that were lost thousands of years ago. She'd be reading academic papers and find herself correcting them mentally, knowing things that weren't in any textbook, understanding concepts that modern astronomy was just starting to rediscover. Her friends noticed the change. "You seem different," they said, "more confident, like you know something the rest of us don't." Rachel did know something, but she didn't know what, didn't know where this knowledge was coming from, didn't know why the dreams were getting stronger, didn't know why she felt this constant pull toward something, someplace, sometime, some version of herself that existed somewhere beyond this life. Then, last month, she was hiking in the mountains near her home, just a regular day hike, nothing special planned, but she reached a peak and looked out at the view, and for a moment, just a split second, she saw it, the temple, right there on the mountain, made of white stone, glowing in the sunlight, the same temple from her dreams. She blinked and it was gone, just regular mountain, rock and trees and sky, but she'd seen it, as real as anything, and she knew the temple existed, or had existed, somewhere, somewhen, and she'd been there, not as Rachel, as someone else, in another life, another time. That's why she's here now, lying in a regression practitioner's office, eyes closed, breathing deep, ready to find out the truth, ready to remember the temple, the mountain, the stars, and who she was when she stood at that gate. The transition is like stepping through a doorway. One moment Rachel is in the chair. The next moment, she's standing on a mountain path. The air is thin, cold, clear, and above her, the star temple rises against the night sky. She looks down at herself. Her body is younger, stronger, dressed in white linen robes that hang loose and comfortable. Her feet are bare despite the cold stone, and around her neck, a pendant, heavy, made of silver or something like silver, carved with symbols she recognizes immediately: star patterns, constellations, sacred geometry. Her name here isn't Rachel, it's Arya, and she's 26 years old, a star keeper, one of the trained ones, one of the few allowed into the inner temple, one of those who can read the cosmic language. She's climbing toward the gate, the massive white gate covered in star maps. This is her daily ritual. Every evening at sunset, every morning before dawn, climb to the gate, pass through, enter the temple, do the work, that's what they call it, the sacred work of tracking the stars, reading the patterns, understanding the cosmic influences, helping humanity align with the greater rhythms of the universe. Arya reaches the gate, places her hand on the cool stone, and the carvings aren't just decorations, they're functional. Each constellation represents a specific frequency, a specific energy, a specific teaching. The gate itself is a massive coded message, a library of cosmic wisdom carved in stone. She traces one constellation with her finger, Orion, the hunter, but not the way modern astronomy sees it, the way the ancients saw it, as a gateway, a portal, a point where certain energies enter Earth's atmosphere, where cosmic consciousness streams in, where souls enter and exit during incarnation and death. The gate swings open, not from physical force, from resonance. Arya's frequency matches the temple's frequency, so the gate recognizes her, welcomes her, allows her passage. Inside, the temple is even more stunning. Walls of white stone rising high, open to the sky, no roof, because the work requires direct access to the heavens, to the stars, to the cosmic field. In the center of the main chamber, a circular pool, not water, something else. Liquid crystal maybe, or starlight made physical. It reflects the sky perfectly, shows the stars more clearly than any telescope, and if you look into it with the right awareness, you can see more than just physical stars. You can see their energetic signatures, their consciousness, their purpose in the cosmic pattern. Other star keepers are already here, about 20 of them, all wearing white robes, all silent, all focused. They stand around the pool, eyes on the sky, eyes on the reflection, reading, understanding, recording. Arya takes her place, stands between two others, a woman named Lyra to her left, an older man named Sirius to her right. These aren't their birth names, these are their star names, the names given to them when they completed their training, names that connect them to specific celestial bodies, that attune them to specific frequencies. Arya's star is Arcturus, the brightest star in the northern celestial hemisphere, a red giant, ancient, powerful, connected to wisdom, to teaching, to guiding others through transformation. She looks up, finds Arcturus in the sky, and focuses, not with her eyes, with her awareness. She reaches out with her consciousness, makes contact, and information flows back, not in words, in knowing, in direct transmission. She sees things, visions, impressions, a civilization on the other side of the galaxy making a breakthrough, discovering technology that will change their world. She sees a planet dying, its star going supernova, its people preparing to leave, to find new homes, to continue their journey. She sees souls transitioning, moving between dimensions, between lives, between forms. She sees the great cosmic dance, the eternal flow of consciousness through forms and worlds and times. This is what starkeepers do. They monitor, they track, they understand, they read the cosmic story as it unfolds, and they help humanity stay aligned, stay connected, stay aware of their place in the greater pattern. The work is done in silence. No talking, no discussion, just observation, connection, reception. Each starkeeper focused on their assigned region of sky, their assigned constellation, their assigned frequency. After an hour, the highkeeper signals, time to record. The starkeepers move from the pool to a long stone table. On the table, tablets, not the modern kind, actual stone tablets, and tools for carving, chisels, hammers, precise instruments for etching symbols into rock. Each keeper records what they received, not in language, in symbols, sacred geometry, patterns that capture not just information but frequency, not just meaning but energy. These tablets will be stored in the temple's lower levels, in chambers carved deep into the mountain, where they'll be preserved for thousands of years, where future generations will find them, and, if they remember how, decode them. Arya carves her symbols carefully, a specific pattern she saw in Arcturus's field, a spiral within a circle, 3 points of light, a wave pattern. To anyone else, it would look like abstract art, but to someone who knows the language, it tells a story, a piece of cosmic information, a fragment of the greater knowing. When the recording is done, the Star Keepers gather in a smaller chamber. This is the teaching room, where the High Keeper shares wisdom, where new keepers learn, where questions are answered. The High Keeper tonight is an old woman named Celeste. She's been a Star Keeper for 60 years, since she was a child, since the day she looked at the sky and started crying because she could hear the stars singing, because she could feel their frequencies, because she was born with the gift. What we do here, Celeste says, her voice soft but clear, is not about predicting the future. It's about understanding the present. The stars don't control our destiny. They reflect our consciousness. They mirror our evolution. When we read the stars, we're reading ourselves, the collective, the species, the planet. She explains that ancient civilizations understood this. They knew that celestial movements corresponded with earth changes, with shifts in consciousness, with evolutionary leaps. They built temples like this one to track those movements, to stay aligned, to help humanity navigate the cosmic currents. But something happened, Celeste continues. About 3,000 years ago, humanity started forgetting, started thinking the stars were just distant lights, started losing the connection, the sensitivity, the awareness, and as they forgot, they became disconnected, lost, struggling. Arya has heard this story many times, but it hits differently tonight, deeper, like she's understanding it on a new level. Our role, Celeste says, is to preserve the knowledge, to keep the connection alive, to be the bridge, so that when humanity is ready to remember, the information will be here, the templates will be here, the frequency will be here. She looks around the room at the Star Keepers. Some of you will do this work for your whole lives in these bodies, but some of you will do it for much longer. Some of you will carry this knowledge across lifetimes, will incarnate again and again, will always find your way back to the stars, to the connection, to the truth. Her eyes land on Arya, hold her gaze. You're one of those I've known since you arrived here 15 years ago. You're a keeper of the old ways, a carrier of cosmic memory. This isn't your first time doing this work, and it won't be your last. Arya feels this truth settle into her bones. Yes, she knows this, has always known it. Even when she was a child in this life, she felt connected to the stars, felt like she'd studied them before, felt like she was remembering rather than learning. The scene shifts. Years pass. Arya is now still a Star Keeper, still climbing the mountain, still reading the patterns. But something is changing. In the world, in humanity, in the collective consciousness, people are coming to the temple less often. The reverence is fading. Other interests are taking over. Politics, war, trade, material concerns. The connection to the stars is being replaced by connection to earth things, power, wealth, control. The temple still stands. The Star Keepers still work, but they feel it, the shift, the forgetting accelerating. Soon, very soon, this way of life will end. The temple will be abandoned. The knowledge will be lost. Celeste is dying now, 93 years old, lying on a simple bed in her chamber. Arya sits beside her, holding her hand, saying goodbye. Don't be sad, Celeste whispers. This is how it goes. Civilizations rise and fall. Knowledge is gained and lost and gained again. It's all part of the cycle, the cosmic rhythm. But what about the temple? Arya asks. What about the knowledge? It will survive, Celeste says with certainty. Not all of it, not obviously, but seeds will remain, in stone, in stories, in symbols, and in souls like yours, who will carry the memory forward, who will incarnate in the time when humanity is ready to remember, who will help rebuild the connection. She squeezes Arya's hand weakly. Promise me something. Promise me you'll come back. when the time is right, when humanity is ready, you'll remember, you'll find your way back to the stars, you'll help them reconnect. Arya feels tears on her face. I promise. I'll come back. I'll remember. I'll help. Celeste smiles. Good. I'll be watching from beyond, guiding, supporting, waiting for you to fulfill your mission. And then she's gone. Her breath stops. Her hand goes limp. Her spirit leaves her body. Arya sits with her for a long time, honoring, grieving, feeling the weight of the promise she just made. The years continue. The temple empties. The Star Keepers leave one by one, finding other paths, other lives. The work isn't valued anymore, isn't supported, isn't understood. Arya is one of the last. She and 3 others, they keep doing the work, keep climbing the mountain, keep reading the stars, keep recording in stone, even though no one cares, even though no one is learning, even though it feels futile, because it's not futile. It's preservation. It's keeping the flame alive. It's making sure that when someone is ready, someday, somehow, the knowledge will be accessible. One night, Arya is alone in the temple. The others didn't come tonight, too tired, too discouraged, too worn down by the world's indifference. But Arya came. She always comes, because she promised, because she's a keeper, because this is who she is. She stands at the pool, looking up at the stars, and she has a vision, not from the stars this time, from somewhere deeper, from her soul, from her eternal self. She sees the future, thousands of years from now. A woman standing on a mountain, looking at ruins, white stones scattered and broken, the gate fallen, the pool dry, the temple forgotten by time, but the woman is her, Arya, in a different body, different time, same soul, and the woman is remembering, standing in the ruins and suddenly seeing them as they were, seeing the temple whole, seeing the Star Keepers working, seeing herself as Arya standing right here, right now. And in that moment of remembering, the connection is restored. The woman, future Arya, begins to wake up, begins to access the ancient knowledge, begins to hear the stars again, begins to remember her purpose, begins to do the work in a new time, a new way, but the same work, always the same work. Arya understands. This is how it works. The knowledge isn't lost. It's sleeping, waiting in stone, waiting in souls, waiting for the right moment, the right person, the right frequency. And then it wakes up, comes back, continues. She's not preserving the knowledge for strangers. She's preserving it for herself, for her future incarnations, for the version of her that will be born thousands of years from now, when humanity is ready to remember. Arya is now 62 years old, the last Star Keeper. Everyone else is gone. The temple is crumbling. No one maintains it anymore. The path up the mountain is overgrown. The gate is weathered and cracked. The pool is dry. But Arya still comes, still climbs, still works, because she promised, because this is who she is, because the stars still need witnesses, still need keepers, still need someone to maintain the connection. Tonight is her last night. She knows this, can feel it in her body, in her bones. Her time is ending. This life is finishing. And she needs to do one more thing. One final recording. One last transmission. She stands at the dry pool, under the open sky, stars blazing above her, and she speaks, not to the stars, to herself, to her future self, to the soul that will return. I am Arya, Star Keeper of the temple on the mountain, the last keeper of this cycle. I have spent my life reading the stars, recording their wisdom, preserving the knowledge, and now I'm leaving. But I'll be back, in another body, another time. When humanity is ready, she raises her arms to the sky, feels the starlight pouring down, feels Arcturus connecting with her, feels the cosmic field responding. I encode this memory, this knowledge, this connection, in stone, in earth, in my soul, so that when I return, I'll remember, I'll recognize this place, I'll access what was stored, I'll continue the work. Energy flows through her, pure, powerful, ancient. It's the stars responding, confirming, accepting her offering, taking her transmission and embedding it into the mountain, into the stones, into the fabric of this place, into her own eternal consciousness. The stars are not separate from us, she says, voice strong despite her age. They are our family, our origin, our destiny. We come from them. We return to them. We are made of their light, their elements. their consciousness. And when we forget this, we suffer. We feel alone, lost, disconnected. But when we remember, when we reconnect, we become whole. We become aligned. We become who we truly are. She lowers her arms, feels complete, peaceful, ready. She lies down on the stone floor of the temple, under the stars, just like Celeste did, just like all the star keepers eventually do, giving their last breath to the sky, returning their consciousness to the cosmos. And as she closes her eyes for the final time, she sees it, her future, the woman on the mountain, the woman who is her, Rachel, standing in the ruins, remembering, waking up, picking up the work, continuing the mission. The connection is complete, past and future meeting in this eternal moment. Arya and Rachel, same soul, different times, same purpose. Always reaching for the stars, always keeping the connection, always remembering. Arya smiles, whispers one word, remember, and then she's gone. Her body still, her soul free, rising up, becoming light, becoming starlight, returning to Arcturus, to her true home, to rest and prepare for the next incarnation, the next mission, the next time she'll stand at the gate and do the work she's always done. Because Starkeepers never stop, they just change forms, change times, change bodies, but the work continues. The connection continues. The memory continues, waiting for someone to wake up, to remember, to stand at the gate once more. Rachel opens her eyes. The practitioner's office, present time, but she's different, fundamentally changed, because she remembers now, remembers it all. The temple, the mountain, the stars, Arya, everything. I was there, she whispers, tears streaming down her face. I was a star keeper. I studied the stars the way ancients did. I could read them, understand them, connect with them, and I promised to come back, to remember, to continue the work. The practitioner nods quietly, lets Rachel process, lets her integrate, lets her find her way back to present awareness while holding the memory of who she was, who she's always been. As Rachel talks, pieces click into place. Her career as an astronomer, not random, not coincidence, her soul finding its way back to the stars, back to the work, in the only way modern society allows, through science, through observation, through calculation. But she's always felt something missing. Because modern astronomy is cold, analytical, disconnected. It treats stars as objects, as data points, as things to measure and categorize, not as living consciousness, not as family, not as teachers. The dreams make sense now. They weren't fantasies. They were memories, real memories of a real life, of real work she did thousands of years ago. Her soul trying to wake her up, trying to remind her, trying to get her to remember her promise. And that moment on the mountain, seeing the temple, that wasn't hallucination, that was recognition. Her soul resonating with the place, seeing through the veil, accessing the memories stored in stone, in earth, in the mountain itself. Over the following weeks, Rachel changes. Not her life externally. She still works at the observatory, still analyzes data, still publishes papers. But internally, everything is different. She approaches her work with reverence now, with connection. When she looks at stars through a telescope, she's not just seeing distant lights. She's seeing consciousness, seeing family, seeing beings and worlds and stories, and she can feel them, connect with them, understand them in ways that go beyond measurement. Her colleagues notice. Your work is different, they say. More inspired, more insightful. Like you're accessing something the rest of us can't see. Rachel smiles but doesn't explain. How can she tell them she's remembering how to read stars the way ancients did? That she's a star keeper from thousands of years ago, that she made a soul promise to continue this work. They'd think she lost her mind, but she knows the truth, and that's enough. She starts writing. Not academic papers, something else. Articles about the connection between celestial movements and human consciousness, about how ancient civilizations understood astronomy differently, about the lost wisdom of star temples and cosmic alignment. She publishes them online, not expecting much response, but people read them, share them, comment, say they resonate, say they've always felt this connection, say they remember something too. And Rachel realizes, she's not alone. There are other star keepers, other souls who made the same promise, who incarnated to continue the work, who are waking up, remembering, finding their way back to the stars. She starts connecting with them, online, in person. People who work in astronomy, astrology, energy work, consciousness research, all approaching the stars from different angles but all feeling the same pull, the same recognition, the same remembering. They share their experiences, their dreams, their memories, and they recognize each other, soul to soul, keeper to keeper, members of the same ancient tribe, scattered across the world but connected by purpose. Rachel starts a small group, just a gathering space for starkeepers to remember together, to share what they're learning, to support each other, to keep the ancient knowledge alive in modern times. They don't build a temple, don't create rituals, don't try to recreate the past. They honor it, learn from it, integrate it, but they do the work in new ways, modern ways, ways that fit current consciousness and current needs. Rachel teaches them what she remembers: how to connect with stars consciously, how to read cosmic patterns, how to understand celestial influences, not to predict the future, but to understand the present, to align with cosmic rhythms, to remember their place in the greater pattern. And she's amazed by how quickly people remember, how easily they access the knowledge, because it's not new information, it's old information, ancient information, stored in their souls, waiting to wake up, just like hers did. One day, Rachel drives back to the mountain where she saw the temple vision. She hikes to the same peak, stands in the same spot, and this time, she doesn't see the temple with her eyes. She feels it, senses it, knows it's there in another dimension, another frequency, overlaid on this location. She closes her eyes, opens her awareness, and connects with the mountain, with the stones, with the memories stored here, and she receives it. Information, knowledge, frequencies, encoded by Arya thousands of years ago, waiting for this moment, for Rachel to return, to access, to continue. She sees tablets, stone tablets buried deep in the mountain, still there, still intact, still holding symbols, still broadcasting frequencies, ancient star maps, cosmic wisdom, teachings that modern humanity needs. She doesn't try to dig them up, doesn't try to prove they exist physically. That's not the point. The point is the information, the consciousness, the connection, and that's accessible through awareness, through resonance, through remembering. Rachel becomes a bridge between ancient wisdom and modern science, between mystical knowing and analytical understanding, between past and present, between Arya and Rachel. Same soul, same work, different times, different methods, same purpose. She writes a book about the star temples, about ancient astronomy, about the connection between celestial movements and human consciousness. She doesn't claim it's all memories from a past life. She presents it as research, as hypothesis, as possibility. But people who read it know, they feel it, they recognize it, they remember, and that's what matters. Not proving the past, but waking up the present, helping people reconnect, helping humanity remember their cosmic nature. Rachel starts giving talks, at conferences, at universities, at spiritual centers, sharing her research, her insights, her perspective. And everywhere she goes, people respond, some with skepticism, some with curiosity, but many with recognition, with relief, with gratitude. Thank you, they tell her. I've always felt this connection but didn't have words for it, didn't have framework, didn't know others felt it too. And Rachel understands. This is the work. This is what Arya promised to do. This is what starkeepers have always done. Not control knowledge, not hoard wisdom, but share it, distribute it, make it accessible, help others remember. One night, Rachel is outside her house, looking at the stars, just like she's done thousands of times in this life. But this time is different, because she's fully awake now, fully remembering, fully connected. She finds Arcturus, her star, Arya's star, same connection, across thousands of years, across different bodies, across lifetimes. The connection is constant, eternal, unbreakable. She reaches out with her consciousness, makes contact, and receives, not information this time, just love, just recognition, just confirmation. You did it, you remembered, you came back, you're continuing the work, we're proud of you. Rachel cries, but they're happy tears, grateful tears, completion tears, because she found her way home. Not physically, not by leaving Earth, but by remembering, by connecting, by doing the work her soul came here to do. She whispers to the stars, to Arcturus, to Arya, to all the star keepers across time and space. I remember. I'm here. I'm doing the work. Thank you for waiting for me. Thank you for guiding me. Thank you for trusting me with this mission. And the stars shine brighter, not physically, but in her awareness, in her heart, in her soul, confirming, celebrating, welcoming her back to the family, the cosmic family, the eternal tribe of starkeepers who never stop, never forget, never give up. Rachel goes inside, sits at her desk, opens her laptop, continues writing, continues teaching, continues sharing, one article at a time, one talk at a time, one connection at a time, planting seeds, opening doors, holding space, just like Arya did, just like all starkeepers do, not forcing, not pushing, just being, just offering, just keeping the light on so others can find their way. And she knows this is just the beginning. There's more to remember, more to discover, more to share. The work is never done, but that's okay, that's perfect, because she's a starkeeper. And starkeepers don't work in lifetimes, they work in eternities. One soul, many lives, same mission, always reaching for the stars, always remembering the connection, always helping others wake up to their cosmic nature. This is who she is. This is who she's always been. This is who she always been. A starkeeper, standing at the gate, doing the work, forever. If the stars have ever felt like home, if you've ever looked up and felt recognition instead of wonder, if ancient temples and cosmic wisdom stir something in you that feels like memory instead of curiosity, maybe you're one of us, to a starkeeper who promised to return, who's waking up now, who's remembering their mission to help humanity reconnect with the cosmos. Subscribe to continue this journey of remembering who you've always been.